Hail, Reckoners, and welcome back to the bottom of the well. Now, I have off-camera discovered not quite the true ending, but just one step shy. So I'm going to show that off, and then I'm going to begin searching for the missing piece to that grandiose finale. So right now, we are on our way to the fallout shelter, the Red Queen's lair. We're taking our usual gear, crowbar, flashlight, radio, map, and 1 unit of food. I still haven't really found a series of choices that makes some of these things clearly get used. That's fine, but this is default Alice, so we are not fit at all. So we're not going to be doing any strong arming. We're going to talk our way in. Now, I don't know how many of these decisions I'm going to make have to be done, but I do know it'll work with the decisions I'm about to make, so I'm not going to deviate from it. We take the Red Queen on her offer. I don't know why there's these slow transitions between screens. Could be a lot faster. So we follow her orders. We don't want to rock the boat. And he gives us grief for it. Yeah, whatever, Mad H. Keep quiet. Okay, fine. I'll read his sass. He's judging us. I know it's just a dream, but geez, what she was doing was just not right. I know, but I was afraid. I didn't want to be thrown out. I understand. Still, it boils my blood. Well, anyway, she and her friends, it doesn't care at all. She and her friends closed the door and made sure it was kept closed. I really hope whoever was left outside actually left to find other shelter, because when the bombs started to drop... Ah, yes. The bombs. We were all underground, down a set of stairs leading to the actual bunker. It was filled with barrels and barrels of beer and other drinks, but at least there was light for a while. So it actually happened, the nuclear war? Yes, we had a radio with us, and we all sat clustered around it. At first... Oh wait, I've done this, haven't I? Yes, this is the last episode. I mean, I recorded that today. You'd think I'd remember what I've already talked about and what I haven't, but you would be wrong. So, now, you know, we've waited, things have gone badly. So if we sit back and wait, we do consume some food, but we will get some extra people. Now, I think that's probably useful at some point. I haven't found a use for them, or the food, really. So I'm going to, if we vote on a thing, we don't waste time, so we keep more food. So I'm gonna work on that ventilation shaft. This saves us an option later, so that's the fastest one. Continue with it and crawl into the shaft. Yes, you've seen this before. Slow and steady, indeed. Yes. And then we're gonna go and get help, like we did before, and we know it'll work this time. I have not actually tried either of the other options of not getting help. So let's... you can... So this ending didn't really prove fruitful at all, but if you choose this fourth option to fight for the fallout shelter, if you choose to physically fight, I haven't gotten that to work. Maybe it would work if you were more fit, but if you try to... And you don't appeal to the group, you do the other option where you just try to reason with her. That way will work. And you get a Steam achievement for taking the fallout shelter, but I mean, like I said, the ending's not that great. So we are going to leave town, all of us together. Yada yada yada, we get to the bridge, confront them at the bridge. We have enough food, we still have the 1 food, so we can bluff by with the food thing. I don't want to skip, because, so I did see this other ending. Okay, so something happened. Crap. I actually have no idea what's happened here, because I have not read the situation. Something happens, maybe a fight breaks out, I don't know, but we have this option to save a few, including myself, or to save a few, not including me. I've done both. The not including me one didn't pan out. Again, I didn't exhaustively explore every option with it, so maybe there is a way to make it pan out, but for the purposes of this one step shy ending I'm going for, we're gonna save a few, myself included. And he gets this grief again. You're shitting me! You left people behind just so that you could get through? Hey, it's not like I'd made a death pact with them or anything, and why should I sacrifice myself after having gotten them and myself that far? Because you were their leader, maybe? Emphasis on was. The ones who got through took the food and left, and the ones left behind ambled off, planning to do God knows what. We were no longer a we. But at least you got through. Yeah. So here we are at the evacuation center. I still actually don't know what this building's called. Ah, the evacuation center. My college. Indeed. We've described it before. Big part of your life. Blah, blah, blah. Hookah, mushrooms, and caterpillars. So what happens here? Everything's still hazy. 90% of the enemy warheads. Disarmed. 1% been through. Indeed. Okay, the gates. We're gonna go left, right? Right. Okay. Wait a second. Do I die? What did I do differently? Did I do something wrong? Okay. So we've seen this before. I'm not sure why I don't die in the stadium like I did the first time, but here we go. So he asked, did the story end here? I say, no, the weirdest part was still about to happen. Aha, the legs and the hookah and maybe a mushroom that makes you grow 10 floors high? No. But remember, I told you about the music I heard on the radio when I fell asleep. Yeah? Well, as I was lying there on my no doubt lethally radioactive mattress, staring up at the sky about half a second away from tears, I heard it again. Kind of like you'll turn the sound of thunder into explosions in a dream. No. Or maybe. Actually, yes. That's not a bad analogy. The music was a connection between the dream and the real world. When I heard it, it was like I suddenly remembered that I once had the dream I was currently having. I remember, in the dream, thinking of how incredibly unlikely that was. It was weird, okay? Dreams are weird. Wait, did I read this before too? Gosh dang it. The football stadium is connected to one of the campus buildings by a long covered annex. I don't remember reading this. They had put down the gates and locked them, but I could still go all the way there. Beyond the gate, beyond the annex, and the building across, it was the admin building. You know, where the student office and rector's office and all those were located. There was an open window with a light on, and that's where the music came from. These run-on sentences, while realistic in terms of somebody writing, are annoying to read. Pretty amazing you could hear it from all the way over there. I knew there was some connection there, some truth hidden in those tunes, something that would allow me to wake up from this nightmare, because that's what it was, every single aching, painful, awful moment of it. But it was beyond locked gates, inside another building, presumably filled with soldiers with guns. You got this far, was there really nothing you could do? Well, I told you they gave us back our old clothes, right? That included the contents of our pockets. In mine, all the keys. All the keys? Yep. Including my ID and an electronic key card to the university, and I had carried them with me all the way from my apartment. I don't really even know why I did that. Seems a little weird in retrospect, yes. You were so careful with what you packed otherwise. Yeah, well, I think as I unlocked the gate and started sneaking across the yard, I kind of remembered deciding to put my all into my studies. That's because default Alice has at least two, I believe 3, ranks in academia, right? I'm assuming that's what gives you the keycard. I had noticed you have different trading items based off of your stats. Exactly because of this reason. Does that make any sense? You retroactively re-remembered in your dream that you had this dream and therefore changed your life in order to have the keys when you had the dream again? Or when it happened in real life? Exactly. This is the weirdest goddamn dream. And I've had a lot of weird dreams. Anyway, what next? I had all the keys, as mentioned, and no one seemed to consider the possibility someone would just waltz out of the stadium like that. They had emphasized very carefully that we were not allowed to wander, as if we even could, so I could easily make my way into the admin building. Gods? God dogs? Booby traps? Just the familiar corridors of my erstwhile workplace. I figured out the music was coming from the office of someone from archaeology, South America. South America, I think, was his speciality. Go on. So, yeah. I reached the door. I realized that if someone is in there, they're pretty likely to just call the guards and make sure I get thrown back into our own little mini Chernobyl. But the music was so loud now, and it filled me with all these conflicting memories. I had no choice. I opened the door and stepped in. Uh-huh. There was a man there. He was sitting behind the professor's desk, feet on the table, bobbing his head to the music. He had a head of white and a thick beard, and was wearing a ratty old band t-shirt and jeans. Around his forehead he had a scarf. When I opened the door, I was greeted with the unmistakable smell of pot. His joint fell out of his mouth when he noticed me. One of the staff? No. But he definitely did not look government either. We stared at each other over the table. After a few moments he picked up his blunt again, inspecting it for damage. Ascertaining it was fine, he offered it to me. Smoke. Haha, did you accept? After all that had happened, hell yes. He offered me a seat and then handed me the joint. He was an older man in his late 60s or early to mid 70s, but still looked sprightly. An old hippie. There was no malice in his eyes. He looked tired and sad, mostly. This is pretty weird. Call me Rabbit, he said. Sorry, don't mean to quote directly, but no, actually. I do mean to quote directly. I remember it all so clearly. Don't let me stop you, Alice. We just quietly shared the blunt for a while, and then he started talking. He had a very pleasant, mellow voice. I fought in the war, you know, Vietnam. I'm not gonna do a voice for him, because she's saying the voice, it's her voice. He said, taking the joint back and inhaling deeply, I was really good at what I did. Ranger stuff, behind the lines, nasty, nasty stuff. He frowned. Weirdest dream ever? You sure it wasn't a member of his staff? I'm sure. He just continued, ignoring my apparent confusion. When I got back, I was pretty messed up. Everyone hated me too. I couldn't understand it. I had fought to protect the U.S. I was supposed to be a hero, like my pops before me, but instead all these people my age were protesting, burning flags, hating, and I couldn't let go of what I'd done either. He smiled at me, then laughed like it was some kind of joke. You don't know where this is going, do you? So he was a traumatized war vet. You don't have any of those in your family, do you? No. I don't even know any modern war vets. We're very anti-war in my family, but this character, I mean, he was a character, like a walking stereotype, but he still felt very real, heavy, present, trying to smoke away his troubles 4 or 5 decades afterwards, deep scars, and he was right. I was even more confused than when I had come there. I wonder where you cooked him up then, seems so oddly anachronistic. This is when he leaned in under the table and took out 2 things. One was a safe. One of those small portable ones, this one with a 4-digit PIN code. The other was a heavy, ancient-looking 1911 semi-automatic handgun. You're drawn to this music, aren't you? He said. The gun and the box just lay there like he forgot about them the moment he took them out. He continued, well, it's not the music, really, it's what's underneath it. Old sounds, older than you'd think, held together by God knows what. Magic, as far as I know. My great-great-great-grandpops found it far down south. That's what my dad said, at least. He used it after his war to help him sleep at night. Some kind of old, like, Mayan-type stuff? Prophecy stuff? I turned it on, and holy shit, he wasn't kidding. The dreams. The dreams it gave you, of a future all rosy and beautiful. Peace, no war, East and West living in harmony, learning from each other. Free love, free drugs, rock and roll. Every night I could fall into this future vision, living a guilt-free life. Some kind of dream time travel device. But his vision sounds pretty utopian. Yeah, he was getting to that. But then one night, it all changed. Instead of waking up to peace and love, I woke up to, well, kinda a version of this. He waved at the window, which had a nice view of the downtown area, still smoking. The bombs had fallen. I panicked. I mean, I had figured out already it was some kind of prophetic device, but since the future looked so rosy, all I was doing was taking out a bit of it in advance while the rest of history caught on. Except now something had changed. Fascinating. So I did the worst mistake a person can do. I brought it to the government. I knew there was no other way to convince them my vision, which I'd had for a solid month straight now, was true. I managed to get to my old buddies in the CIA through my military connections. I set them up by the recorder. I walked them through the vision. They were convinced. And they also knew something about what had caused it. Some secret scheme they'd all been cooking up, which had clearly backfired. I'm not sure if this explains all of recent history, or does the exact opposite. Here's the thing. They would have happily thrown me to the dogs after getting a hold of the thing, but the problem was it had attached to me. Maybe to my bloodline, or maybe something else, God knows. I was the dreamer. It showed me my dreams, which granted, was the future of mankind, but still, they needed me. So wait, if they could predict things, why didn't they predict 9/11, or the fiasco of the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan? I know you have a lot of questions, but we don't really have time for those. In about... He glanced at the clock, then picked up the handgun. I tensed. 10 minutes, I'm scheduled to wake up. And when I do, everyone else attached to the dream also wake up, including you. No. You have to ask him about the radio signal. Why was it on public radio? And in the box, what's up with the box? With the box? I did. And he laughed and said, It's never been, and it never will be. The recording is locked in the deepest vaults of the Pentagon, somewhere next to the Ark of the Covenant and the Holy Grail. They run it once a year, and in a very controlled environment. You wouldn't believe the controls they have, the secrecy. There is no possible way you could have heard it. That is incredibly unhelpful. He added with a twinkle in his eyes as he lifted up the pistol. Then again, my old grand etc. pops did reportedly say that he heard it calling him through the stone, rock, and soil from an unexcavated burial chamber. And my pop said he heard it playing from the attic on the day after his dad's funeral, even though that was just impossible. Maybe it just calls for its next dreamer when, I'm assuming it, knows the previous one is on its last leg. Shit! Hey, wait, the strongbox? That was the bloody weirdest part. He indicated the box with the gun and looked at me. I will give you 2 minutes to open this box. If you are the new dreamer, which I think you might be, that shouldn't be any problem for you. And then he just got up to finish the blunt by the window. What? That makes no sense. How could you possibly know that? What did you do? So I don't know the 4 digits. The only 4 digits I know are the ones we saw at the beginning of this conversation block, which is the 1911 pistol. So I'm going to try 1911. I have not successfully opened the box before. So if you don't open the box, you kind of just get an ending. He blows his brains out. It's a little weird. Let's try and open the box. We may see it in a second when I fail to open the box. I'm really hoping it's 1911. Okay, so 4 digits. That's a lot of possible combinations, and you only get 1 chance. Better than nothing. Boom, 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 boom. Ah. I typed in random numbers, but how was I to have any chance of just hitting the right combo? I gave up. And please tell me he gave you some kind of hint. Well, he said a weird thing. He said, and I quote, "Once you know the code, you will never unknow it." And then he laughed like it was the funniest thing. I had no idea how to react to that. And then he brought the gun up to his temples and fired. Holy shit! And then I woke up. Wow, okay, that was quite some dream. I'm not sure that was a dream. This is a different part, so I'm gonna read it. I don't think it was either. So what was it then? Prophecy? We're all going to die? No, I think I just saw a test. Maybe of their missile shield? Who knows what they use it for, whatever it is. It's about as top secret as it can get. This is crazy. I'm almost starting to believe it. What did he mean by calling its dreamer? I don't know. All I know is that I have to find him again. Rabbit? Before they find me. Why would they look for you, and who's they anyway? Because they need a dreamer, and I have this feeling that this is not what the thing was meant for. Rabbit knows it too. There's something else. Something else that manufacturing monstrous future scenarios that may any day come true once they perfect the formula? Whatever else could such a power be used for? Funny. I don't know yet, but I intend to find out. It almost feels like I've already... Wait. What? Nothing. I just... For a second it felt like I heard it again, the music. Like this was one of those decision-making moments that determine my future. As if it will somehow... wrong effect, a dream that I'm going to have had. Careful with your future perfect tense there. Sorry, I just got the feeling things aren't over yet. Oh shit, someone's at the door, BRB. Okay. Alice? Alice, are you there? Alice! God damn it! Bum bum. They took her away, they got her! So, this is what I alluded to at the beginning of this episode. I need to find a way to see those 4 digits. Now, given the way this game is structured, I'm going to assume that there is a series of options that leads in my demise that is only really useful because at some point along that path, presumably near the end, I am exposed to the 4 digits. Now, to the best of my knowledge, I have not seen these 4 digits, so I am going to try and figure that out. These Steam achievements have given me some hints. There's possibilities like trying to cross the river in a way other than the bridge. I don't think that's likely. What I think I need to do is I need to evacuate with chess. I think chess has the key. Now, I'm not sure if I want to try and figure out chess with default Alice, or try to make a custom Alice specifically geared for hooking up with / helping chess. So I'm going to derp around a little bit off camera. The plan right now is to try default Alice for a bit, get frustrated, give up, try custom Alice. Although theoretically I could get lucky and find the key with custom Alice in the first few attempts. So I will leave that for the next episode. Yeah, should be good. So next episode will be the finale, because I will be finding the true ending. If in the likely event that I have to do, you know, a special ending to get the 4 keys, it's not some repeated ending, I will show you that ending. I mean, I'm going to show you or explain how to get the 4 keys no matter what. But the main thrust of the finale tomorrow will be, you know, reveal the secrets and all that stuff. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Signature catchphrase!